Hey everyone, it's Ryan1940 here. Today we're taking a look at Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. We're using the Mission Hub by Miltech Simulations, and we are at KMPI Mariposa Yosemite Airport, or Municipal Airport I think it's called. This is not the default scenery. This is a freeware scenery by Vincent Bazillio. He makes a lot of really good freeware sceneries on flightsim.to. You can go find him. I love all his San Diego ones, and I love all the extra ones that he's got in California and the region that I fly in around here. So pick this up, it's free. This is CowanSim's Bell 222, and we are rocking the Mercy Air livery. I think that is who does the air ambulance service up in this region. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and lift off because we've got, if we click over here, we got to find a rescue target, which is going to be in Yosemite. So we'll do some of that flying into some beautiful scenery. I wonder if there's still snow over there. That's what I wanted to really check out. We shouldn't have any traffic. Turn to 044. Yeah, we're going about that ways. I have flown. Oh, there's birds down there. I had flown this before, just when I first downloaded the mission, and it was really neat. This was the first time that I actually saw random animals out in the kind of in the fields over there near the runway. I think there were some deer walking around, which was really cool. All right, we've got to watch the torque. Kind of maxing it out right now. It's right that dial down there. So 044 045. CowanSim's got a lot of helicopters for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. I wouldn't say like they're the best, but you know, some helicopters don't translate really good into Microsoft Flight Sim. I think they've made stuff for X-Plane as well, and I really liked their helicopters there. Sometimes the torque and stuff does weird things in some of these helicopters. But it is what it is. I mean, there's not a lot of helicopter options out there. And I think across the board, it's not just CowanSim, but like helicopters in general, Microsoft Flight Sim kind of have weird interactions with the torque and the main rotor RPM and the engine, stuff like that. If you come from DCS, it's really different. You don't really have to worry about that stuff here. Like, you're not going to blow your transmission. Maybe there are some helicopters that have that stuff modeled really well, but I haven't come across it yet. That's not to say it's not out there. I haven't flown all the helicopters available for Microsoft Flight Sim, but I've flown quite a bit. I own quite a few helicopters. All right, let's keep ourselves on track here. All right, looks like there's snow out there, so that'll be really neat. We'll pick this up as we come into the valley because I'm sure it's going to be pretty scenic with all the Rocky Mountains and the icy snow caps on them still there. So see you in a bit. Alright, we are back, and look how beautiful this scenery is. Oh my goodness. The rocks, the fidelity of the rock faces in Microsoft Flight Sim in certain areas is just amazing. I'm not surprised that Yosemite has great terrain resolution. Oh wow, look at that. Coming into the valley here. So our pickup, I think, is might be in that field clearing over there. I think we're kind of close. If you notice my trees, I have an add-on that lowers the height across the board for the trees, and I think it's got a much more realistic effect. I think the trees in default MSFS they're just way too tall. You really notice it when you're on the ground at an airport or something, but it's especially the scenes look way more convincing, especially up in the air. The trees look smaller and giving you a sense of height. Alright, let's see where this is. Alright, not down there. Oh, this is incredible. The other day when there was this, there was an atmospheric river going through California, and I flew this when I first downloaded the mission just to kind of give it a test run, and this was all blanketed with fresh snow and it's already all gone. It's really neat that Microsoft Flight Sim's weather and stuff will do this kind of dynamically as the weather really does change. So we got the real world weather on. The time is a little bit off of real world time, but not exact. Just to give it more light while we run the mission. Okay, I think we're going to be further down that way where that hamlet is, up where you see all the lights out there. Now this is just amazing. Look at that detail on the ground there with the riverbank. Jeez. You know, after seeing this, the terrain is so good that I want to get this. There's actually like a fishing add-on for Microsoft Flight Sim. I'm kind of just waiting for it to come to the Microsoft Flight Sim online store in-game, but I think you can download it from the guys that do the camp out utility. They have a fishing one, and it does real-world fishing. It collects real-world fishing data from different regions, so you're gonna fish and catch fish that you would find in that region. And I just imagine like flying in a kind of like a helicopter to go wherever, or some sort of cross-country plane, just landing on a little strip there and just doing some fishing in the bush. All right, I'm not quite sure. Oh, there it is. Oh, there's that smoke. We're gonna fly past. It's gonna be on the right side here along the road. Yeah, this was covered in snow last time, but not as deep because I didn't remember seeing all the details on the ground here. It looks like we got. I couldn't see stuff last time because of the snow, the height. I think it really does. Look at that. Just I'm so distracted by the beauty of this game. That just looks incredible. This is the default scenery too. I can't stress that enough. This looks so damn good, and the way that the trees have the snow like capped on them. All right, I think we got to focus though. We got to land this damn thing and get those guys on the helicopter. Oh, we actually have a patient back there. Let's click that off because we don't have the patient just yet. All right, we got to slow down quite a bit. About 110 knots, 100 knots. Okay, so this helicopter is not compatible with the actual mission that the designer made for the Mission Hub. People can put missions up and share them. And if you don't have a helicopter that's compatible, say this mission was you had to hover and collect a person, which I think it is, it would require something like the MH-60 or the I think that's about the only helicopter you can do that stuff in that's working with the Miltech Hub feature. If you don't have that helicopter, I wanted to show this as a way to let you know that you actually don't need a helicopter or Miltech's specific helicopter that the mission designer wanted you to use. You can use some other helicopter to your whatever you got in your hangar. And if we look here, this will be a little different. It's going to tell us to hover, and it's going to simulate the hoisting operation that we would have done. Ideally, I would have liked to just land this thing and have the mission be over, but I don't think we can. I think the mission was really designed to have us go into a hover and pick the person up. It is kind of hard to slow this bird down. She wants to stay fast. We got such tight quarters here. I got to keep spinning around, lowering altitude and pulling back a little bit. But not too much. I don't want to fall out of the sky and go into... let's see here what we got. Yeah, VRS is somewhat modeled in this game. Not to the extent that you've got in DCS. In fact, I think after Sim Update 4, I was hearing reports of people like finding out some assistance thing was turned on for VRS, and it was making their flying really painful because the helicopter really, you're fighting against the AI co-pilot trying to save you from destruction. But you really don't need it if you fly helicopters in other games. You get the gist of what you got to do.
Enter a hover here.
All right, so it's saying we got to enter a hover. And they want us to be 20 minutes, or 20 minutes, 20 meters of the target. So I think we're kind of close if this is the target spot. And I think we had to be like 50 feet off the ground or something. There we go, 20 or 70 feet, there we go. Okay, they seem to want us in a hover like right along this spot.
Steady.
There we go. Try my best to stay still.
Enter a hover here.
No, we lost it in the last second, damn it.
Steady.
Okay, here we go. Alright, we freaking got it. It took a while. Trying to find that sweet spot of where to hover was not fun. It says within 20 meters, but there's a really specific spot I ended up finding after many tries of hovering around, floating around the wreck there. Okay, so we gotta go to Mariposa Airport. Wow, look at this. Look at this scenery. This is just so nice. Okay. I think we can just go direct. We want to do... Okay, yep. I think it's KMPI. Let's see. Yep, it is. There we go. Alright. We gotta put our gear up. It's starting to get a little dark. Gotta watch the torque there as we climb on out. Oh, we've got the passenger on, so let's click that. There we go. Give it a little more realistic, I guess. One of the cool things that I think not a lot of people talk about with Microsoft Flight Sim is the on these rocky faces, depending on the time of day and where the sun's at, if it's cooking like say that rock face, you're going to get thermals off of it, and if you're flying a helicopter along it, you're going to feel lift from it, which is what you would feel in real life. And it's amazing that that kind of level of detail is modeled, and it makes for some really cool flying along cliff faces. It was one of those things I really wish DCS had, especially more, not only just thermals, but like basic wind interaction with terrain. DCS has this crazy blanket weather thing across the whole map, which drives me nuts. And you know, I love flying helicopters in that game, but after seeing and feeling what other flight sims do with weather, it really is lacking for a combat flight simulator. I think the core component of it should be, it is a flight simulator, and it should focus on weather, but that's just too bad. I did see in a recent interview that they, well, it was a video about an interview that was in Russian, and basically the guy was translating it. And one of the things that really bothered me in DCS was I really thought it would be really cool if you can click a button and get real life weather. So you could actually fly in the weather that's available in the world at that moment, wherever you're at on the map. Say if you're on the Syrian map and you were at like Damascus, it would get the real world info from Damascus and apply that to the game. And I think it's a chief operating officer. She basically shot that idea down and said it's never going to happen. They're not going to do that. They will increase the fidelity of the weather at some point, but they're not going to add real-world weather. I think that's a big miss. The game's a freaking flight simulator. I mean, all flight sims should have that option. It would be fun and compelling to fly in the real world weather in combat. We don't get to do that in Microsoft Flight Sim yet. Maybe one day. I really wish this game would have a combat flight simulator component to it, because that was a lot of fun when I was a kid flying the combat flight sims. CFS 1, CFS 2, CFS 3. I think, what was it? I think, was it 2 that was the Pacific Theater one? Yeah, that might have been it. I remember having CFS 1, and that was like a European Theater of Operations kind of game, and you could mod in, what was it? It was Microsoft Flight Sim 95 or 98 back then. You can get aircraft from that and mod it into the game. So people were making add-ons, and I remember having an add-on for, look at that, just amazing scenery. I remember people having add-ons for, I think it was a company called Abacus or something. They made Battle of Midway add-on, so they had a bunch of the Navy planes, and then I think it was CFS 2 was the Navy, the PTO game, which was really awesome. I played the crap out of that. The one thing I really missed that they didn't have in that game was you couldn't do torpedo bombers. Like, you could mod the game so you can fly the Avenger and stuff, but you couldn't shoot like working torpedoes as far as I remembered. And that wasn't a part of the base game. You were just doing fighters, so you can drop bombs and stuff like that. I think I had to wait until like Pacific Fighters to come out to be able to do like torpedo attacks and stuff. Anyways, I'm looking forward to another game that will do Pacific Theater stuff, because I love flying old Navy birds. I think they're really cool. In fact, I got, speaking of that, I picked up the AH-1 Skyraider, so I'll probably do a video on that, because I think it's really neat. It actually does add weapons into the game that you can like drop in this game, and you'll see it like produce smoke and stuff like that. So anyways, we'll pick this up when we get towards our landing zone. Alright, we are on the way. That's the airport down there. KMPI? What was it? I keep forgetting. But this is a non-towered airport, so I've already called in saying we're going to land at helipad number 1. We need to burn our speed off carefully. We got hills all around us. Burn the speed down, and once the speed comes down, we can drop our gear. And the helipad is going to be kind of in this direction. I'm looking on the left side of the runway. And we'll circle around and come in for landing. It doesn't look like there's any other traffic out here, so got it all to ourselves. Yep, that's the helipads right down there. There's a H-60 helicopter on that third one. We are going very fast, like 170 knots. This helicopter just doesn't want to slow down. It's nuts. And I was also, to be fair, I was going downhill pretty quickly. I think we get any view of animal life around here like last time when I was playing. Man, the night graphics in this game are just really, really beautiful. Alright, I think we can drop our gear. Get some pedal input in here. Slow it down. Gear is still transiting. It's not safe yet. There it is. There's our helipad over there. It would have been cool if they've got like a mission object where there's an ambulance waiting for you with flashing lights or something. That would be really neat to see. Oh, you know what I didn't do is I didn't turn on my landing light, but we're too focused now on landing. I can't go fiddle around with the controls for that. Let's twist on over to this spot. There we go. Alright, now I can go ahead and just roll forward and then come to a stop. Alright, let's pull the parking brake. Oh, we were twisting around there. Oh man, look how crazy this is. You can hit the anti-torque pedal and this is gonna go flying around. Little behaviors like that just are really weird. Okay, not bad, but a little right of center there. Oh well. Still need to fly a lot more. But this is what I kind of get. It's hard for me to get used to with the in the hover. There's that lean that it's got to the left side, and so I'm like fighting with my stick to counter it, and then I end up like wobbling back and forth. I'm really interested in getting a. I go back and forth with this. I really want to get like some sort of cyclic that's a longer throw, because right now I'm using my Warthog HOTAS, so I got the Thrustmaster joystick. And it's really short, so it's hard to get really sensitive movements in. If you had a longer cyclic that was probably goes down to the deck, you can pull back a little bit and just have that fine control. Alright, so anyways, that was a lot of things actually. This was the Bell 222 from CowanSim, and we're flying in the Mission Hub, so if you click on this guy, you got my missions. So this is if you downloaded somebody's missions on the Miltech Mission Hub Discord. There's a channel there for the Mission Hub sharing. You would see stuff like this. So this would be all the other missions I've downloaded. We were playing this one down here. You see current aircraft not fully compatible. That means you can still fly the mission, but you're not going to have the results of what the mission designer laid out. So your mileage may vary on how fun that is. It'll be like this kind of where you might have to hover instead of using the hoist if you had the SH60 or the MH60, sorry. But you saw we were still able to do it and still accomplish the mission. And then this airport is KMPI, which is a Mariposa Yosemite Regional Airport, I think is what it's called. This is by Vincent Bazillio. He makes a lot of really good sceneries for free. Especially in the kind of SoCal region and across California as well. I think he's got some French ones too, because he's from France. When he comes to California every once in a while to go flying. Check his stuff out. It's on flightsim.to. Highly recommend it, especially if you like to fly in California. A lot of free, good airports by him. And yeah, I think that was it. Hope you guys had fun watching that. If you want to see more of different helicopters flying, doing missions, maybe we can do some of that. Let me know what you want to see in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. I'm starting to like this game quite a bit now with the updates that it's got. It's been pretty fun. And yeah, if you have any questions or comments, let me know below and I'll get to them as soon as possible. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.